Hello and welcome back to Gemma Movie Recap channel. Today, we're going to tell you the storyline of a 2013 box office movie titled Escape Plan. Telling us about cunning security expert, played by Sylvester Stallone, who finds himself wrongly imprisoned in a high-tech, seemingly inescapable facility, and he must team up with an enigmatic inmate, portrayed by Arnold Schwarzenegger, to outwit the system, unravel the mystery behind his incarceration, and engineer an audacious escape that keeps you on the edge of your seat. And so without further ado, let's get straight to the video. But before we start, please support our channel by subscribing and click the bell icon for future notifications. Now, let's start. The movie started in Bendwater Federal Prison, Colorado, where the main character in this movie, Ray Breslin, is one of the prisoners in this prison. Shortly after, a fellow inmate arrives to warn him that a gangster is planning to attack him in the prison yard. When the time comes, Ray instead attacks them first. Due to this incident, Ray is placed in an isolation cell. As he's about to be put into the cell, Ray carefully observes every move of the prison guards there. And while in that cell, Ray then prepares several plans that he had calculated beforehand. He starts using things from tissues to chocolate milk cartons. Finally, Ray asks a bald guard about the current time, and he begins to count. Until a woman arrives using a car, and suddenly, the bald guard is shocked when he sees that Ray has disappeared from his cell. Firefighters immediately arrive, and it turns out that Ray managed to escape, picked up by his two associates named Abigail Ross and Hush. Then, Ray is dropped off in front of a payphone. He's given a coin to call someone, and suddenly passing police officers find him again. Ray is taken back to the prison, but this time he's escorted by a man named Lester Clark. The head guard is initially surprised. What is really going on here? It turns out, Ray has been hired by the Federal Prison Bureau to test the integrity of maximum security in prisons nationwide. It's revealed that for the past 7 years, Ray has been in and out of prison to ensure the security system is 100% functional and impenetrable. Ray explains his escape plan in this prison, how he managed to succeed. He starts by studying its layout, understanding the routines there, and with the help from both inside and outside. The prison already has a good security system, but its proximity to the fire department is ironically its weakness. Ray deliberately seeks adversaries there to gain access to the isolation room where security is much weaker. And when the guards are resting and smoking, that's when Ray takes action. With the help of the chocolate milk provided to him, he manages to escape. He opens the thin plastic from the milk packaging and sticks it over the key button to obtain access. After successfully getting out of his cell, he then hacks the CCTV cameras and escapes through the ventilation corridor. But one thing that puzzles the head guard is, what kind of person chooses to spend most of their life inside a prison? Turns out there's no reason for Ray, it's just a hobby for him. Ray finally returns to his office in LA, where he has a meeting with a CIA agent named Jessica Miller. She asks for Ray's help to infiltrate a prison that's different from the norm. The CIA is testing a prototype for dealing with individuals undesirable to the government. This time, they're working unofficially because the prison is managed by a private entity. There's no court, no punishment, and those who enter will vanish completely. Money-driven Lester states that the CIA is offering double the usual payment for this mission. Jessica adds that the inmates in this prison are extremely dangerous. Their criminal actions have the potential to change the world, and no one knows the location of this prison. Due to the immense danger of the project, Ross and Hush urge Ray to decline. However, it's Ray's ambition that drives him, and he immediately agrees, feeling challenged by it. The team prepares a new identity for Ray. This time, he goes by the name Anthony Portos, born in Madrid. He's portrayed as a suspected terrorist who has carried out politically motivated bombings in Europe and South America over the last 10 years. He establishes contact with a guard named Roger Marsh and receives an evacuation code as well. Before taking action, Ray is injected with a tracking device to determine his location. While on the side of the road, a car arrives and kidnaps him. They detect the tracker inside Ray's body and promptly destroy it. Ray is then sedated, and upon waking up, he finds himself in a prison cell with glass walls. This prison employs highly advanced technology. He's under constant surveillance for 24 hours a day. The head guard, Warden Hobbs, seems to be observing him from the control room. Ray is brought to meet him, hoping to encounter head guard Marsh, whom he had anticipated. However, even when Ray mentions the evacuation code, Hobbs refuses to listen. Ray's escape attempt has come to an end in this prison. Meanwhile, Ross and Hush are completely unable to locate their boss. The guards then call all inmates in Block A, including Ray, to enter Babylon. He witnesses a fellow inmate being beaten, and to enter that area, prisoners must pass through a barcode scanner. Upon arrival, a group of tattooed gangsters immediately notices Ray, the new inmate in this VIP prison. Just as Ray is about to become the target of these gangsters, a prison ruler named Victor X. Mannheim, who is posing as Emil Rottmayer, intervenes and stops them. Hobbs instructs the head of security named Drake to secure all of Ray's valuable assets within the prison. On the other side, it turns out that the prison is also inhabited by many Muslim inmates who regularly worship there. Ray begins to study the layout and standard procedures of the prison. In Hobbs' room, it turns out that there's a book titled Compromising Correctional Institution Security, authored by Ray Breslin himself. Unexpectedly, Victor is able to read Ray's movements. Then, Ray seeks Victor's help to gain access to the isolation room, and suddenly, they both end up being taken to the isolation room. The intense brightness of the room causes Ray to experience extreme heat, shattering his concentration. And in the control room, Hobbs appears relaxed as he observes the situation. As their boss's safety is threatened, Hush and Ross pressure Lester to contact the CIA and cancel the project. Meanwhile, a doctor named Dr. Kyrie is sent to check on Ray's condition. Ray tries to inquire from the doctor about the prison's location. Before the doctor can answer, Drake promptly asks him to leave. Ray and Victor are taken out of the isolation cell once again. This time, Victor asks for an explanation about who Ray truly is, someone who pays such meticulous attention to every detail of the prison's rooms. In response, Ray asks for a 3-inch iron piece. If Victor can get it for him, Ray promises to help him escape the prison. Hearing this, Victor informs the guards that he wants to meet with Hobbs. When he meets Hobbs, he pretends to draw a map to Victor's location. However, he ends up creating a humorous and bizarre drawing that infuriates Hobbs and leads to Victor being punished. At that moment, Victor removes a floor panel's cover, retrieves the iron piece, and gives it to Ray. Here, Ray reveals his true identity. He has been breaking out of prisons for the past 8 years. This time, he's truly been set up by someone to make him disappear. Ray deduces that there might be a passage beneath the isolation room that could lead him upward. He plans to use the metal from the iron piece to concentrate heat up to 100 degrees Celsius. The intense heat from the lamp directly aimed at the steel spike embedded in the floor will cause it to dislodge automatically. Ray then needs 5 minutes to find his way out, and for that, he needs Victor as a distraction. Without hesitation, Victor stands up and starts a fight with another inmate. They are taken back to the isolation room. In that moment, Ray immediately uses the metal piece to pry out the spike. Meanwhile, Victor causes a commotion to divert Hobbs and his subordinates' attention. As the floor panel door opens, Ray swiftly navigates through the corridor to find his way out. Hobbs watches Victor, who is actually pretending to be crazed and stressed, providing Ray with time. Ray is startled to realize that the prison is located on a massive tanker ship in the middle of the open sea. He struggles to get back into his cell just in time as an alarm goes off due to a leak. On the other side, Hush and Ross confront Lester about the frozen check they received for Ray. However, it seems Lester is hiding the true reality. Hobbs and Drake discover the dislodged steel spike in Ray's isolation room. And it's revealed that the one who trapped Ray in this prison for eternity is actually Lester, collaborating with Hobbs. Lester even informs him that Victor is being sought by banks worldwide for attempting to create a program that would transform the entire global banking system into a confederation. Ray's proximity to Victor, who they believe is Rottmayer, will be exploited to extract information about Victor's whereabouts. Ray is once again tortured and intimidated by Drake. Victor wants to understand why Ray seems to have a penchant for entering prisons. Now, Ray is all alone. He used to be a prosecutor and once put someone in prison who managed to escape. Ray's task was to ensure everyone stayed locked up and didn't escape again. But this time, he must truly break out to pursue the one who trapped him. Ray continues to study the guards' routines, who wear masks, until he struggles to differentiate between them. However, based on their walking style and demeanor, Ray nicknames them various monikers like Chicken, Duck, and so on. Victor purposely stabs Ray so he can meet Dr. Kyrie again. Ray once again asks where the prison is located. When the doctor refuses to answer, Ray initiates his plan B. He asks Victor for a pen and glasses. Using these items, Ray creates a sextant, a tool for measuring angles. However, Drake and Hobbs observe his actions. He's then taken to a cell in Block E. Ray takes advantage of the situation by claiming that he will provide information about the person they are seeking. Ray and Victor team up to manipulate Hobbs through a prisoner named Afridi, whom they convince to escape the prison with them. Afridi meets Hobbs and claims to know Ray and Victor's escape plan. In exchange for this information, he requests the opportunity to pray above the surface of the ship so he can see the sky. It turns out Afridi smuggled the sextant to read the ship's position, and he gives the information to Ray. They are currently at 30 degrees 22 minutes north, which places them in the northern hemisphere, as the water swirls clockwise above the equator. Ray deduces they are in Morocco. Ray sends a message to Dr. Kyrie that there's a book in Hobbs' room, asking him to read page 8. That page contains the Hippocratic Oath. The doctor realizes that Porto is actually Ray Breslin. Ray's next plan involves tricking Hobbs into thinking that Victor is between the borders of Bulgaria and Romania. Ray and Victor have 24 hours before Hobbs realizes the Bulgaria location is a lie. He needs someone in Block C, and Hobbs asks Afridi for information about Ray's plan. Ray creates a tapping code in his cell. Dr. Kyrie deciphers the code, revealing a message that he's needed within 24 hours at the location coordinates 30 degrees 22 minutes north, 23 degrees 6 minutes south, at 5 p.m. tomorrow, at a barbecue and swimming pool party, signed by Rottmayer. Meanwhile, Hobbs observes Magmar Hassan's son talking to Ray. Suspecting that the son might assist him in escaping from Block C, Hobbs triples the guard's surveillance. Afridi then triggers a massive riot in the prison, leading to the guards firing shots. Ray and his two allies take advantage of the chaos to escape. Ray manipulates the CCTV cameras and navigates through the corridors. When the guards locate them, a shootout ensues. They discover motion sensors that reveal their location. Ray instructs Victor to leave immediately and promises to catch up. A helicopter arrives, as Victor requested it to come to the tanker ship. Afridi chooses to fight the guards, buying Ray and Victor more time. Ray, on the other hand, works to incapacitate Drake. He then enters the control room and disables the security system of the prison ship. The helicopter arrives and opens fire. Victor runs to the helicopter and boards it. He grabs a weapon and begins his action. Meanwhile, Ray executes Plan B as Hobbs attempts to capture him. Exactly at 5 p.m., when the guards reactivate the system, Ray manages to escape the ship through an underwater passage. The attack isn't over yet, as Hobbs and security personnel open fire on him. Thinking quickly, Ray shoots the oil barrels, causing an explosion. But the surprise doesn't end there. Ray is shocked to discover that Jessica Miller, the CIA agent, is Victor's daughter. She was intentionally hired through Lester to rescue her own father. On the other side, Lester is now seen imprisoned in a car, inside a container on top of a tanker ship. And finally, the movie comes to an end. As we wrap up this thrilling journey through the intricacies of Escape Plan, we've delved into the heart-pounding action, the mind-bending plot twists, and the captivating performances that made this film a true cinematic gem. If you've enjoyed this recap and want to stay updated on more exciting movie analyses, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and share this video with your fellow movie enthusiasts. Your support keeps us going, and we can't wait to bring you more engaging content. Until next time, happy watching and stay cinematic.